Due to the graphic nature of this program, viewer discretion is advised.
Good evening, everybody. Apparently, I didn't put myself into the damn stream. What is up? I've got to get used to this evening shit because you know what? Last time I was like, well, let's do this day, this day, this day. It was in the morning and it was 8 a.m. I'd only been up for like an hour and I was like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? And now I'm here in the evening. Good evening, everybody. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Can we get a little skull and a tuck and roll? I think we can do that. Skull and tuck and roll. Good evening. Hopefully you guys are doing great. What is up, everybody? We got David Glenn. We got BH Samurai. What's up, Samurai, bro? We have got the psychoist of Psychodorf 9. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Penny, happy Taco Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday. I'm moving my chair without my feet. Happy Taco Tuesday. What is up, everybody? Good evening. Hopefully you guys are doing good. And hopefully you guys are doing grand, kicking butt, taking names, not taking any crap from anybody. Good evening, everybody. Hopefully you guys. Louise Sparrow is here. Good evening, Louise. It's late night for you, isn't it? It's close to midnight there, huh? What is up, Louise? Thank you so very much for being here so late. Puddle Jumper, what's going on? Sergeant Giratina. How about that? Giratina? Is it Giratina? Hopefully it's Giratina. Hopefully I am saying it correctly. We've got Classic Comics. What's up, brother? How are you doing? Hopefully you are doing well. Keely Chow, Roll Tide. Keely, Roll Tide. Good to see you, brother. It is good to see all you guys here. Claude Sailing, what is up, bro? Good to see you. Absolutely badass son of a bitch right there. We've got Dan Funk. What is up, Dan Funk? Good evening, sir. How are you doing? It's good to see all you guys. It's good to see everybody. What's going on is I'm into month 13 of tracking my SS Loki. How are y'all? We are doing okay. We are doing okay. Can't think anything to say more than that. We're doing okay. We're doing good. Me and Eris are doing good. Hopefully you guys are doing well too. Sucks that you're having to do that. Dude, I am okay. I'm not gonna say the B word because I hate to look at it like that. There was some identity theft going on, like that was going on for years. So having to deal with that, having to look everything up, find out that oh look, I had a house in Indiana. Nope, no, I didn't. Oh look, I had a repo in Indiana. No, I didn't. Oh look, all these cars have been repossessed in Indiana. No, they weren't because I don't live in Indiana and I've never lived in Indiana. So much crap went on when I had to deal with all that I'm like, never again, ever. I don't ever want to deal with that. I got my shit locked down. It's locked. It's good. What is up, Snowdub? Little skull and tuck and roll. We're going to be talking about physical media. Snow, if you want to jump in, totally up to you. If not, I totally get it. I've got a lot to go over. I've got a lot of information for you guys. So there's going to be links popping in chat that I'm going to be dropping on you guys. There's a ton of information I want to give you because there is a big push by a lot of major players to get rid of physical media. Right now, Sony's kind of hanging in there, fighting the good fight because they're getting all of Disney's physical media. So all of Disney's physical media is going to be going through Sony. Sony's going to be putting out all the DVDs, all the Blu-rays, all the Disney stuff. We're going to get into a lot of information here. We're not just talking about movies. We're not just talking about TV. We're talking about games too, because that's a big part of it. A lot of the consoles are going discless. They don't want you to use discs. Why? Because they want to completely control their IP and they don't want you preserving anything, because if there's anything going on, they want to get rid of it. They want to erase it. They want to move on. They want to get it out of the game and they don't want you to have it and they don't want you to see it. Stellar Blade taught them that lesson. What is up, Jedi Master 2022's Lost in Space, guys? If you haven't seen Jedi Master's Lost in Space streams, go and check them out. They're absolutely hilarious. He says, Skull Loki, and give you a happy Taco Tuesday. Well, you know what we got to have on a happy Taco Tuesday? We got to have a little Fanta for Mexican Iron Man. If you're out there listening, Mikey, this one's just for you. Skull! Don't you wanna Mexican Iron and one That's right. What is up, brother? Thank you so very much for the $2 super chat. It is very much appreciated. Thank you, my friend. Holy crap. Okay. So, like I said, we're going to be dropping a whole bunch of info on you guys. I'm going to be dropping a whole bunch of links in chat. Let me get to the first one. This first one is from Fox News. I'm not going to be pulling up in all these. I'm not going to be showing them all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the link in chat and give you guys a quick idea of what this is about. Reinventing history. Experts warn the end of physical media will give tech giants even greater control. Why? Because they're moving away from physical media and pursuing ventures in digital space. Experts warn this shift will lead to significant tech censorship, allowing streaming giants the power to have greater control over history and culture. What does that mean for you? That means, you know what? If I want to see that part where Crocodile Dundee grabs that chick by her ding-a-ling-a-dang and is like, that's not a bloody Sheila, mate. That's a bloke, right? They just cut it and they get rid of it. They did it with the 4K edition. They did it with the Blu-ray edition. They've gotten rid of all that. All the streaming services that are going to be showing that movie from now on are going to be showing the edited version that does not include that part. It's not even a Sheila, mate. It's a bloody bloke, right? That part that everybody laughed at, that everybody thought was so funny, that he gender checked that shit. If you watch Snowdub's stream, this is what the gender check is all about. They've cut that out completely. It's not on the Blu-ray, it's not on the 4K, and it will not be on streaming service. Why? Because they don't want to be called anything. They don't want to be called on it, but they still want to release the movie. So what did they do? They erased a part of the movie that is important. It is important because it shows you exactly what's going on, because he's never seen anything like that. He has no idea. He has no clue. And they take that completely out of context and turn it on its head. Why is that important? Ladies and gentlemen, what's up, Mark? What's going on, brother? Good to see you. That's why we do not get rid of physical media. That's right. Do not resell your DVDs. Do not resell your Blu-rays. Do not throw them away. Don't think, oh, I have a backup on this. It'll be just fine. No, but it gets even better. Why? And I'll be dropping the link for you for this here in a couple minutes. Sony's not making Blu-rays that you can record on anymore. So let's say you want to make a backup of your movie. Can't do it. Why? Because they're not going to be producing the Blu-ray discs. You need to do that. The best you're going to be able to do is save them on a server or save it over on a computer and pray nothing ever happens to that copy, because once it's gone, and you can't get another one, and that's it. So what do we got next? We have got, hold on one second. Let me get caught back up. Okay. We have got Joe Blow. I'm going to throw the link in here. It's another one. We're going to go fast and furious on this, guys. Physical media getting too expensive. Why would it be getting too expensive? Best Buy completely exiled their supplies of DVDs and Blu-rays to the point that you can't even buy them online anymore. We're going to touch up on this more later in another link as well. That's not the big part of this. The big part of this is that everything's going to get more expensive. A month ago, what started you on this whole journey, Loki, to go on and get all these links and look at all this? I was in Target. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Do you know what they had? They had a kiosk at the front, small little kiosk that had cards that you could get digital movies on. That's it. They had cards. They had no movies. They had no TV. They had no Blu-rays. They had no 4K. They had nothing. And you could go, well, Loki, I've got a Target near me, and there's still some stuff there. You're not getting any more. Whatever's there is whatever's left. That's it. That's it. You're not getting any more. Why? Because Target has decided they're not going to have any physical media in their stores either. And they're going to be getting rid of games too. Oh, you think, well, Loki, I hadn't heard nothing about that. Why do you think they're removing disk drives from consoles? Why do you think the PS5 Pro doesn't have a disk drive? Why do you think they're constantly pushing for consoles without disk drives? Because they're going to be getting rid of those too. What is up? June Wong with a $2 super chat. What's going on, brother? He said, good evening, y'all. I'm not asleep for a change. Thank you for being up. And thank you for watching the show. And a double big thank you for throwing in that $2 super chat, brother. Let's see. What do we got here for you? How about a little... Well, we did Jason. We did Jason last week. So let's not do Jason. How about a little Starship Troopers scope? And this right here, also, you will own nothing and you will be happy. Why? Because of DMR or DRM, digital rights management. We're not going to give it to you. We're not going to let you have it. We're going to loan it to you. You're going to pay us $20 and we're going to loan you the movie. Why? Because we don't want you to have it. We don't want you to lend it out to your friends. We don't want you to keep it forever. We're just going to loan it to you for $20. And if we want to make changes to it, boom, we can make a change to it. We can alter it. We can use AI. We can do whatever we want. Why? Because we own it and you do not. This is why physical media is so freaking important, because you own that movie. They don't. Well, now you can't own it. Victor Pontaine, what's going on, brother? Totally agree. The brick and mortar stores aren't providing floor space for physical media anymore. That's right. And physical media costs are skyrocketing. Why are they skyrocketing, Loki? Because they're making them in limited quantities. See, me and Vic, We got the same problem. Unless we get that shit on the jump, boom, right away, there just aren't any copies. There's nothing out there. Do you want to know why it was easier for me to get a hold of the Godzilla super pack from this last Godzilla movie in Japan? It was easier to order it from Japan than it was to get a copy here. Why? Because Japan still has 70% physical media rate. Take a wild guess what we have here in the States. Take a wild guess. Somebody out there. How much physical media do people buy versus digital? It's in the 20% range. 20%. And that's from last year. God only knows what it's like this year. Blu-ray sales are down. The highest Blu-ray sales ever got was around $16.9 billion. You know what they're down to now? A little over $2 billion. What does that mean? That means people just aren't buying discs. And the collectors, like me and Vic, the collectors like Snowdub, the collectors like Tom over at Midnight's Edge, we're going to get overcharged and they're not going to have enough copies. Guess what that means? That means if you miss one, your only shot is eBay. And guess what they're going for on eBay? I have got an unopened copy of the Conan Arrow pack, the super ultimate pack for Conan. It has Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer in it, along with a book and some cool shit to it. Okay? I paid $50 for that. For whatever reason, they sent me two. They sent me two of them. I just happened to look on eBay the other day to see how much those were going for. About $150. That's triple the price of what you'd pay for it if you'd have just ordered it, if you had the opportunity. But let's say you don't know. Let's say, oh, well, Loki, I don't know. I didn't know it was coming out. eBay, that's it. It's your only option. And if you don't have enough money, you're screwed out of it. Why? Because limited quantities. But Loki, why are they doing limited quantities? We're going to get to that. We got a lot more. We got a lot more to throw out. Digital ownership and the end of physical media. This is over on Jacobin. I'm going to throw this out there and I'm going to tell you a little bit about this. So everything we are talking about today, I'm going to throw a link here. Everything I pulled off of. Loki, why didn't you throw all this in the description? Because it's frankly, it's way too much. And YouTube likes to ding you for links you throw in. Decline of physical media and the death of analog formats is consolidating corporate control over digital content. This ship raises serious concerns about access, ownership, and consumer rights. And I believe it is absolutely anti-consumer to act like this. Physical media has been up against a decline for years as manufacturers and retailers drop DVDs, Blu-rays, and video games on disc in favor of their digital alternatives, including streaming and downloaded copies of films, television, and games. The lure of the digital is real. Instant to obtain, easy to store, no waiting, no clutter shelves, and you can shop around from the comfort of your own home in your pajamas. But the cost of the decline of physical media is higher than one might think. Transitioning from tangible items to intangible digital copies housed in the cloud has robbed consumers of whatever ownership they might once have claimed over media. The change is subtle, even irrelevant to most of us, at least on first glance. However, its implications are anything but trivial. We have to go to them to get our entertainment. We have to go to Fandango. We have to go to Amazon. We have to go to Netflix. We have to go to HBO Max. We have to go to Netflix. And if it's lost, then it's gone forever. That's it. If PlayStation decides we're not going to let you play a game anymore, which I might add, they just did this over on Epic. The game's gone. Sorry, your game's gone. You're done. You can't play it anymore. It will not be launchable from your account. It will not be launchable from any account. Why? Because we're taking that game away. Do you know what they have to do? They have to give you a refund. That's it. They just give you your money back. And in some cases, they don't even have to give you a refund. They can just go, well, that's the end of service. Done. You're done. You're finished. Benito, what's up, Sherry? What's up, William? Shakespearean. Shakespeareberg. What's up, guys? Good to see you. Adega Outlaw. What is up, guys? If you haven't gone over to Adega's, check out Adega's. A lot of books, a lot of cool information, a lot of stuff. He's got books in Barnes and Noble. He's got books on Amazon. Well, what about Amazon, Loki? They still sell DVDs, Blu-rays for now. But even Amazon Studios doesn't want to put their stuff out on physical media. But why? Because then it's forever and they can't get rid of it. And if someone comes back 10 years from now and throws it in their faces because of cancel culture, it's there and they can't change it. They can't modify it. They can't get rid of it. They can't cut it out, just like they did with Crocodile Dundee. They can't do anything but go along. And that's it. That's what you got. Future of DVDs and Blu-rays. Guess what? Sony's out. Sony's not going to be producing Blu-rays that you can create stuff on, that you can copy on. I'm going to be very clear about this. They're not going to create Blu-rays in their, what is it, the Fengha plan or whatever the hell they make that shit, because it's too expensive. So writable media is out. It's done. It's finished. You can't get Blu-rays that you can write media on. You can't get Blu-rays to back up your Blu-rays. Why? Because it's prohibitively expensive. Now they try and tell you that, oh, this is great, Loki. It's great for the environment. What do you mean it's great for the environment? Oh, do you know how much it costs to make those plastic cases? Do you know how much it costs to make those discs? Do you know how much damage they do and blah, 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 blah? Streaming. You're going to love this. The cost of streaming is more than it costs to make that Blu-ray or DVD. Well, what do you mean, Loki? I'm going to be throwing that out for you here in a minute, too. What it means is, it means that for every bank of servers that they have all this shit on, they're using more energy and putting out more pollution to give you the ability to stream all this shit 24/7 than it does to create a plastic case, to create a Blu-ray disc, and for you to watch it on your little home player. They're doing more damage. It's like electric cars. They just don't get it. Oh, but you're stopping all the pollution. Not if you're ramping it up to put electricity in the fucking cars and the batteries and all the shit that goes on with it. This is what they don't want you to know. So Loki, if that's true, why are they doing all this? Why are they saying environment? Because it doesn't have anything to freaking do with that. It doesn't have anything to do with production. What it has to do with is they want to control your media. They want to control your media. They want to control what you watch, and they make a lot of money doing it. But Loki, DVD sales, Blu-ray sales, that's got to be huge, right? Well, here's another link for you. The death of the DVD. Why sales dropped more than 86% in 13 years. Like I told you before, Japan, they're like physical, give us our physical. Give us our physical copies. Give us our physical disc. Give us our physical games. But we here, we're throwing that shit in the $3.74 bin trying to get rid of it. Since 2008, DVD sales have declined more than 86%. Combination of the Great Recession, a rise in customers buying on demand and digital copies of films, and the launch of streaming services is what has caused DVD sales to plummet. A lot of people just don't care. So the collectors out there, like me, Vic, Tom, Snowdub, all these people that love to get their physical copies, Mark in chat, I know Project likes his physical copies. I know a lot of you like your physical edition of whatever it is, your movies, your TV shows, your games. You're going to suffer because everybody's turning away from it and nobody wants it. What does that mean? What does that mean for you? That means players. Samsung is not making Blu-ray players or 4K players anymore. Panasonic are not making Blu-ray players or 4K players anymore. LG not making Blu-ray players or 4K players anymore. Sony is still making them, but they are going to become more expensive. Prepare yourselves to pay 2 to 3 times the normal amount to get a Blu-ray 4K player. Does anybody remember how hard it was during the pandemic for you to get a 4K player or a Blu-ray player? It was pretty damn hard. DVD players, there was a lot of those around. Getting a Blu-ray player, you were lucky if you walked in Walmart and found a Blu-ray player. You were lucky if you walked into Best Buy and were able to get a Blu-ray player. Now it's going to be even harder. Why? Best Buy is not carrying them. Target is not carrying them. Nobody's freaking carrying them except for Walmart, Amazon, and a few niche stores. And nobody's going to be making them anymore. No one's going to be making them anymore. Mark, I have an appointment. Excellent DVD Blu-ray player, a PS5. If the rumors are true, and we will be dropping a link for this as well, PS6 will not have a disk drive. PS6 will not have an attachable disk drive like the PS5 Pro. PS6 will be all digital. Xbox has fired their entire staff that makes physical media. Microsoft will no longer be producing any physical media. Everything will be download codes. Sony is supposed to be following suit. Nintendo was almost there. They're coming out with cartridges that have a code on it. They don't actually have the game on it. You still have to download that. Why? Because you're going to put your little game cartridge in and it's going to say, oh, downloading game now. And it's going to download your game. And as long as you have that little cartridge in there, you can play the game. As soon as you pop that bitch out, you can't play it. So you can't loan it out to your buddy and go, here, play this, because he's going to have the card and he's going to be the only one who can play it. You will essentially be locked out. Nintendo, they're already bricking consoles. Why? Because of shit they've got to share. Because of stuff they have to share. And holy crap, what is this? What is going on, brother? How are you doing?
Skull and tuck and roll, man. You are on a rant today.
I am on a rant. We've got more links coming, guys. So if you're watching this and it's on a replay, make sure you keep an eye on chat because I just dropped another link in there. That is from the New Yorker, and that is what we lose when streaming companies choose what we can watch. And why are they doing that? Because they're making money off all your data. $1 billion business, Snowdub, just selling what you watch. Hey, guess what? You want to know why it's so hard to get exact numbers on Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon, and all those other streaming bitches? Because they're selling your data of what you watch.
Of course.
And when you watch it.
Of course they are. Same thing they do on, social media.
Exact same thing they do on social media.
Well, here's the part that I noticed you didn't cover, and a lot of people don't think of this, but it's very important when it comes to collectors like myself, like Victor Fontaine, Tom Connors, Fanzine. We're all big collectors of physical media. And the fact that I would say over at least the last 5, maybe 7 years, the movies and games that have been coming out have been absolute shit.
Yes.
And we don't want to buy them.
That's right.
Personally, I can remember 15 years ago or so, and I was stoked for every Tuesday. I'd go to the Walmart, see what the new movies were that came out from, a couple months ago from the theaters, and I'd usually buy at least one, sometimes 2, 3, depending on what came out that Tuesday. Like Tuesday was my day to go add to my collection. Now when I go, I see the brand new Captain America sitting on the shelf. Nope. I can't believe that I'm walking past a Captain America movie and not buying it.
Yep.
But I'm not, because I don't want to watch it. I don't care. I hate that movie. No, I don't want none of that crap.
And I just dropped the link, subscriptions and the decline of physical media, and that is touching on a lot of what Snowdub's talking about right now.
Yeah, put out good shit, we'll buy it.
Put out good shit and we'll buy it.
Like me and Vic and Tom and Fanzine, we're all buying 4Ks of old movies we love.
Yep.
That's what we're going to do now. That's where the money's at as far as physical media right now. It's the 4Ks and past releases of good movies, because what they're putting out is crap. You
remember that first Matrix movie where Morpheus is like, do you think that's air you're breathing right now?
Yeah.
Do you think that's 4K you're watching on a streaming service?
No. Not even close.
Do you know how big a copy of a 4K? Do you know I can do 10 minutes of 4K, and I can make a 10-minute 4K video, and that shit will come in at like 20 gigabytes. You realize how big 4K, how much space 4K takes up.
Oh yeah.
You're not getting that when you're watching it on Netflix and Hulu and any of that shit. You're getting upscaled. That's it. You're getting a 1080p that's upscaled.
Yeah. And with streaming networks, like, a lot of people are unfortunately having to buy a streaming network for one or two shows they might like. And then they get a whole lot of crap. I mean, and it's just regurgitated of the same movie list for the most part. I mean, I got Netflix. I know what's on there. And a lot of it's just junk. Nothing I would ever watch. So they make it seem like they got a lot for you, but it's really not, folks. So it's like, you might as well just buy your physical media of the movies that you love, because the chances of you catching your favorite movie on one of these streaming networks, yeah, it's maybe 50-50, but they rotate them out. Like a great example is when they released the new 28 years later trailer. Everybody was freaking out because you couldn't find 28 days later on any streaming networks.
Yeah.
So what did they do? They were like, well, can you find the physical media of it? They hadn't produced a 28 days later physical media in years. So all the old copies went through the roof. Like in order to buy 28 days later, you had to pay $40, $50 for a DVD of it. Blu-ray was more. Now they just released another set of them. I think Blu-ray and 4K, and then of course the price dropped again. So it's a little silly on what they're doing, but at the same time, it's like I think the hardcore physical media people will always be here, and what's going to happen is it's going to be the same thing like you see with records. Everything will disappear at one point, and the only thing you can find it is your mom and pop, used stores, old school stuff, and something like what Loki wants to open here in a few years. And that's going to be your only way to get these physical media. And then the businesses will be like, oh, wow, look, all this retro stuff's making a comeback. We should start producing it. Now you go to Target, and the place where all the movies were is now full of records.
Yep. No, that's exactly right. And what you were saying earlier about the phasing, the phases suck. What did I do with it?
And even Disney's filling it, because Disney, multi-billion dollars, whatever they put into Disney Plus to have their exclusive Marvel shows on there that you can only see on Disney Plus. Well, they were losing money. So what did they do? They put them out on 4K. You could have bought Mandalorian, She-Hulk, Vision, whatever the show, Vision show, WandaVision, all that shit came out on 4K, Steelbook edition, because Disney needed to comp some money back because they were losing so much money. They broke it down and put it out. So it's
why would you have Sony? Why would you have Sony making your physical media? You're fucking Disney. You are Disney with a big capital D, and you have Sony making your physical media.
Probably because it's going to save them money, because Sony already does produce most of the Blu-rays.
They don't want to get into physical editions. They don't want to do any of that.
Yep.
They don't. They want it all on their streaming services. That way they can take it down and replace it whenever they want to, just like their freaking rides. How many times have you seen Lorianna Creel talking about they took out this ride? How many times have you seen WDW Pro and Jonas talking about they took out this, they took out Splash Mountain, or they took out whatever, and they're replacing it with this whole horse shit? Snowdub talking about Muppet Vision and what they're going to put there.
Garbage. Monsters Inc.
Garbage. Absolutely freaking garbage. And let me pull up Rumble because he just sent in a Rumble rant. Give me 1 second. I've got so many freaking tabs open right now from having all this. I've got 28 different tabs open to drop you guys information here. And because I've been looking at this for a month, this was originally going to be a little 10-minute video. And the more I dug into it, the more I realized that I was like, I can't do just a 10-minute video about this. I've got like 27 different links of bullshit I've got to cover. There's no way I can do that. Thank you, Jeff Pearson, for throwing me that. Victor Fontaine with a $20 Rumble rant. Loki,
I called it.
A little bit of coin to put towards your next physical media purchase. Thank you, brother. Thank you very much. And he says, long live the fighters. Long live the fighters, brother. Skull!
Long live the fighters!
I just picked up a copy of that movie.
Oh, dude, I love that movie.
I didn't own it. I didn't
love
own the
that
original Dune.
Here's
so
the thing. If you can find it, this is very difficult to find. There's a Steelbook DVD version that has the Spice Runners cut or whatever the hell they call it.
Oh, wow.
Now, that's like 3 hours long. If you can find that for the original Dune, that is the edition you want. I do not believe it's on Blu-ray. If someone knows better than that, please let me know, and that will be my next digital or my next purchase. I'll order the damn Blu-ray of it if I can get the extended edition. But I'm not upgrading from my DVD until I can get that 3.5 hour long Spice Cut edition or Spice Runners edition, if they have that now.
And shout out to Victor Fontaine. Instead of sending me Rumble rants, he literally sends me 4K movies. I'd say over half, probably like 74% of my 4K collection right now is thanks to Vic over the last couple of years. So Vic knows that I love my physical media. He's got an amazing collection. Him and Tom are just, they literally got their own Blockbuster in their house. It's crazy.
And Mark says, only out on DVD, Loki. I'm right there with you, dude. I will never give up that movie. I absolutely love that movie to death, even though it's not like the book. But the new movies aren't like the book either. So, what the hell ever. I love the guns though, dude. I was a little kid when I saw that for the first time, and first time they were like, "Whoa, dude, boom!" I was like, "Holy shit, that's badass!"
Yeah, it blew me away too as a kid. And Sting, the fight with Sting was just like,
fight with Sting.
Yeah, that was intense for me as a kid. Good stuff. But yeah, that's the thing is, us hardcore physical media owners are always going to be here. We're always going to buy stuff that we want. So there's always going to be a niche. It's supply and demand. So if the demand's always there, the supply is going to have to be. I mean, they could try to phase it out as much as they can, and you're right. It'll probably get down to a point where you can only buy shit online. You know, you're just not in stores anymore. But props to my Walmart up the street, who still has a pretty decent movie selection. I have recently purchased 4K. I've got the first two movies. They haven't put out the third one yet, but I got the first two, Lord of the Rings, Steelbook edition, extended edition, 4Ks, and I've been grabbing them when they come out, and they're still doing it. They're still putting a lot of older movies out, and they sell like hotcakes. Every time I go, the Steelbook 4K section has been picked over, and so I know people are still buying this stuff. It's just they don't want this new crap that's coming out. All the Captain Americas are still sitting on the shelf, man, full. You know, you can't give them away. It's great. So, I mean, put out better movies and you'll be able to sell DVDs and we're not DVDs, but Blu-rays again. I think DVDs are definitely going to phase out eventually, though. You know, it's only going to be Blu-ray and 4K pretty soon. Well,
see, that's the thing. Blu-rays never caught on as much as DVDs. And yes, I do have proof of that. Give me 1 second. Sony has cited a significant drop in consumer demand for Blu-ray discs. It never reached the heights of DVD. This is Sony talking about its own production of Blu-rays compared to DVDs. That Blu-rays never reached the height of DVDs, and they have been a disappointment for Sony. That's a crazy thing for the people who basically invented this shit. You had Blu-rays back in the day, and you had HD movies. Do you remember HD movies?
I do, yeah.
That was like Microsoft's answer to Blu-rays.
Well, big problem with that, Loki, is the death of the video store. Because, Blockbuster would buy its mass amounts of movies. Then, of course, as time had passed, they'd mark them down. Previously, viewed movies over in this one section where you could buy them. I mean, I think I still own a few that I bought from Blockbuster back in the day. But when all these movie stores started fading out and going to these red boxes, and red boxes did it too. Like they were selling, you could literally buy the movie at a red box. You didn't get the case though. You just got the disc. So, I mean, that's been phasing out, and that's a big culprit of it, is people are not, they stopped renting them. And, I'll just get streaming service and watch movies on there. Well, yeah, but you're only going to watch certain ones. And if you get a movie in your head, we're like, man, I want to watch this movie. You go check your streaming service. It's not here. What are you going to do?
Brian, that is a good question. If you look in the description of this video, there is a Stream Elements link and there is a PayPal link. If you do not want to give the YouTubes any money, by all means, you could donate there. I very much appreciate it. If you have a message and you want me to read it out live, I will read it out as soon as my little phone here gives me an update and says, hey, you got something from PayPal. I'll be more than happy to read it out if you want to do it that way and you don't want to use the YouTubes. There's always alternative ways to do it. Same thing with Rumble. Any way you guys want to do it, more than happy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we appreciate it too, because that money comes straight to us. YouTube doesn't get its cut, and we don't have to wait 30 some odd days to get it.
And it does keep the lights on around here. Literally, I pay bills with the money. The money I get from YouTube, the money I get from memberships, the money all of that goes to bills. Yes, that is not Loki's fun money.
StreamYard alone is $40 a month or some crap, I mean.
well, yeah. Yeah, especially if, let's see, I pay by the year, but my year's almost up. My year's almost up in July. Ooh. So I will not be getting the pro package anymore. Why will I not be getting the pro package? Why aren't you getting the pro package, Loki? Because they want $800 fucking
Hi-ya.
For the pro package. And I'm like, no, I'm not giving you $800 when it used to be $300 something.
Right.
There's no way I'm doing that. So I will be canceling my pro package and be doing it another way. What is up, MB Geek? MB Geek Sparrow with the $20 super chat. Thank you so very much, brother. It is very much appreciated. I have a media shelf with TV series, tons of movies, one in the case set. I am getting blanks and worry about the cover part later. PM going now where got $5 bin, got 84 Dune today. Now we can see them on a shelf. Hell freaking yes, brother. That is what I'm talking about. Get your shelves. Get your stuff ready. Why? Because it's worth it and it's yours. You're not part of their bullshit plan. You're not part of their bullshit program. You are paying them to make money off of you. You are giving them money so they can look at your trend, so they can look and see what you watch and sell that data to other people to try and get you involved in their bullshit. Hey, come over to HBO Max. We've got this, and this. Bye. Hey, come over here to Hulu because we've got this and this and this. We'll treat you great. They're selling all of your data, all of the shit you watch. That's money to them. It's a multi-billion-dollar business they're making, and you're paying them. You are paying them for them to turn around and sell your data. Forget that.
Don't make a mistake of looking up something on Google that you don't want to see 1,000 times in YouTube ads. Jeez.
That's right. That is right. Give me 1 second, Brian, because I see you there, brother. We've got Old Gamer 72 Cutlass with 1 gifted Stone Loki membership. Thank you so very much, my friend. And Brian, what is up? Sent in a $20 super chat, but you didn't say anything, bro. You didn't say anything. Dude, whatever you want to say, put it in chat. I will highlight it. Too sweet. Thank you so very much for the $20 super chat. And thank you, Old Gamer 72 Cutlass, for that gifted membership. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla. And thank you as well, MB Geek. This one is just for you. We're going to run them down with some horses because Snowdub's here and he loves the horse.
No horse.
Go! A whole army of horses.
At least that horse isn't spinning on a pole.
That's true.
Or sucking on its microphone.
That is true. Loki, what has been the point of all this? A lot of these sites are saying that in the next 5 years, by 2030, Sony is going to get out of the disc business altogether. Xbox is already out. Now, this could be with just games. It could be all of it. We don't know yet. We just know that something is coming and it's going to be big and there's going to be a huge change. You've already seen DVDs, Blu-rays, 4Ks out of stores. You've got Walmart. You've got Amazon. Is there anywhere else that you know of besides mom and pops where you can buy 4Ks and Blu-rays and DVDs?
Walmart's still doing it. I got these places called Bookmans in my town. That's kind of like you said, like the mom and pops, kind of a franchise, but they got a pretty good selection of stuff. And then your pawn shops, surprisingly, check out pawn shops. You'd be surprised
Pawn
how much
shops.
you can find there. Yep.
And Life of Brian, what's up, bro? He says, tip for you from the roving trucker, ride for ruin and the world's ending. Hell yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Lots of horses for Snow. He likes horses.
No horse, good dirt.
The point is, something big is coming, and they want to take your rights away. They want to take the rights you have to your media that you paid for. How many times have you heard? How many times have you heard you will own nothing and like it?
All the time. Pretty much, well, it's pretty much one of the Democrats' favorite things to say.
And Punkwater brings up Half Price Books. Barnes and Noble still carries physical media. They have a couple of bookshelves full of DVDs, Blu-rays, and like usually it's right next to their records, which means that if I go into Barnes and Noble, I'm going right over to the records, clawing through all the records to see if there's anything rare that I can find that maybe got overlooked by somebody. And I'm going through the movies, looking at the movies, seeing what I got.
And they sell puppets.
They sell puppets.
That's where I got Puff and Gruff.
I've never seen them.
They're in the kids' book section, at least at my Barnes and Noble they are.
I will check there. I've never looked in the kids section.
Yep.
Big Fontaine says, I still have an old Toshiba HD DVD player from 2006. I have my HD DVD player that went to my Xbox 360. I have one movie for it, King Kong. That's the only movie I had.
That's another thing for you collectors out there is make sure you buy a multimedia like DVD, Blu-ray, HD. Hopefully it plays all three, like a PlayStation 5, and or just a regular player, and keep it in the box and throw it in your closet because you never know. When shit breaks down, hey, I got a backup because they may not sell them anymore.
Luckily, I've got 3 4K players. I've got my PS5, which it came with the disc drive. I've got my Xbox, my Xbone, which may, just stop working one day because they just like to turn shit off. And I've got an actual player. I've got an actual, I think it was an LG too, and they're not making 4K players anymore. Sagadorf 9 wants to know, what is the issue when masses of people own nothing?
Well, there's lots of issues with that. I don't know if he wants me to say a specific one, but the main thing is that's your first steps towards communism. I'm not quite sure if that's what he meant by that.
And DJ, you can't make backups anymore, bro. Not for Blu-rays. You can rip it onto your hard drive. You can put it on a thumb drive. You might be able to put it on something, but Sony's not making recordable Blu-rays anymore, and they're the only ones who can make them. So they are not making discs that are writable. So you can't copy your shit. The best you can do is put it on like a thumb drive if you're lucky.
Right. And a lot of the movies, they come with digital downloads, so you can, fill up a hard drive with your digital downloads if you want. But that's another way of kind of hanging on to your media, I guess.
Mark says I have a working forehead VHS player in storage and movies in storage of it gets too bad. I've got a one of the old giant TVs with the VHS as part of the TV.
I had one of those. I actually gave up on VHS and let it all go. I finally just gave up. I got tired of packing them up and moving them because
Yep.
they are the heaviest media out of all of them. So I got rid of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I had the entire Star Trek original series and TNG on VHS. And I had half of DS9 on VHS.
My
And it was just
I got rid of the original Star Wars. I should have never done that, but I did.
oh, the gold one.
The original VHS Star Wars that came out.
Ooh, yeah.
It was the first 3-pack they ever did, I believe.
I think we got those at McDonald's or some shit. They were like a giveaway, or was that Indiana Jones?
I got mine for Christmas. It was like a box set, literally a box set, but it was before he had tampered with them. You know, this is back when they were still the original movies, and George Lucas hadn't dipped his fingers in there and started adding shit. Now you can't find it. The only thing I got from that is I got a laser disc of the original Star Wars.
I've got a laser disc, but I don't have a laser disc player.
I don't either.
But I've got the DVDs, and the DVD 2-pack had the theatrical version on it on a different disc, on a special edition disc. So I'm lucky enough to have the unedited ones on for each movie that came with the DVD 2-pack. I don't know if anybody remembers that. It was like a limited edition box set, but the box sets only had one movie in it. So you got this box set, this big box set. I think it had like a t-shirt or it had something in it, a lithograph, something. And you got the DVD 2-pack. It was the only way to get them. Now those things are like, it's like a gold mine if you can get all three of them at the same time. Because you got the original movies that haven't been fucked with.
Yeah.
It's the laser disc print is what it is. It's just a laser disc print on a DVD.
I only have Star Wars. If I ever find Empire and Return of the Jedi, I'll grab them. But yeah, it's the only laser disc I have.
Figured you'd have the thing.
No, I mean the thing hasn't been touched, thank God. Like it hasn't been messed with. It's still the same. But I do know the DVD version, the collector's edition of the DVD version, has the most special features to this day.
What if? Okay, let me ask you a question. Because I was talking about this. I don't know if you heard me talking about Crocodile Dundee and the gender check.
Yeah, I caught that. Gender check.
Gender check. Okay. What if they went in and completely like AI digital the damn monsters and shit in the thing, and you can't get the original copy anymore? Like they took out that scene in Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah.
They just go in and they like they did with the 2018 movie or whatever it was.
I could one up you on that one. And I'm still pissed to this day. I bought the first 3 seasons of The Muppet Show when they came out on DVD. Great box sets. It had every episode. Nothing was taken out. And Disney bought them in between from season 3 to 4 and 5. Disney bought them in between there. It did not release season 4 and 5. And now, if you want to watch The Muppet Show, yeah, you could go to Disney Plus. First, it'll give you a warnings. This content is old and could be, offensive bullshit in the beginning of it. And they took out certain episodes that they felt like, just shouldn't be on streaming and shouldn't be on their network anymore. So you can't watch these ones. I mean, one with Jar Jar Gabor. I think the one Johnny Cash is pulled. There's been a couple of them.
You know why? And I'll tell you exactly why. Give me 1 second. I want to show you guys something. I was lucky enough, if I can find it in here really quick. That's B. Where the hell is C at? That's B. More B. Where's my Johnny Cash album? Oh, that's freaking peanuts. Cash.
Oh, Snacks is here. We were just talking about Star Wars.
Nothing but Star Wars. Okay, so anyway, I've got a green Johnny Cash Christmas album. It's somewhere back there. I probably showed it off before. Walmart would not let me buy this record.
No,
You know
why's that?
why Walmart would not let me buy this record? Because they were all pulled.
Oh, really?
Now, luckily, Loki's smart. So Loki takes these records up to the front. He's going to buy these records. They will not let me buy this record. Oh, I'm sorry. This has been recalled. Why has it been recalled? We don't know, but you can't buy it. We cannot sell it to you. Loki's fucking smart, though. Loki's like, okay, there's another one back there. I know because I went through all their records looking for records. So what did I do? I went back there. I got 2 more records. And I got the Johnny Cash record. And I scanned the other record that I got twice. I'm not stealing. I'm paying for 2 records. I just accidentally scanned the same record twice. And I paid for it, same price, whatever. They pulled it because at the beginning of it, he talks about a hymn. He talks about a hymn. He's like, that little manger and baby Jesus. And when I was a child, I used to sing this hymn in church and da 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 da. They removed that from the album and then re-released the album.
Christianity. Oh, yeah.
So the version I have is first edition that is very rare. Why? Because they all got pulled and they all were altered. And it's just a Johnny Cash Christmas album. But they wouldn't sell it. They all got pulled because, by God, you can't have them talking about a hymn at the beginning of a Christmas album. But what did it do? It made my record worth like $150. And I opened it and I listened to it.
I think
why? Because that's why I bought it, was to open it and listen to it.
I think the first part of Christmas is Christ, isn't it?
That's right. And that's exactly what he was talking about.
Yeah.
John has the bastards. Yeah. Because you can't have an album where you're talking about God.
And Walter, I was referring to the fact of you will own nothing and love it. To me, that sounds like China.
Yeah. Sounds a lot like China. They don't want you to own it. Why do they not want you to own it? Because they want to be able to change what you consume and watch what you consume. All the links are in chat. I threw everything out. Hopefully you guys, if you want to go through it and read all of it, and you have the opportunity to do that in the time, I spent a month researching all this. I spent a month going through all these tabs. I've got 20 million damn tabs up at the top of my screen that I read through and went through and trying to figure this out. Why are they doing this? It's not about environmentalists. It's not about saving the environment with discs. That's all a lie. It all comes down to we want to control what you consume and we want to change it at any opportunity we need to go in, just like Crocodile Dundee. Any opportunity we need to go in and change it, we can do that and you'll be none the wiser because you weren't paying enough attention in the first place. The only problem is that people like me, people like Snow, people like Vic, people like Tom, we know our movies. Why? Because we love our entertainment.
And that goes for gaming too, guys. They refuse to play their game. Like they when the Thing remastered came out, everybody and their dog was hitting me up. Snow, it's out, it's out. Are you gonna get it? Are you gonna get it? Are you gonna get it? I'm like, no. They're like, what? But you're a super fan of the Thing, you know? And I'm like, yeah, well, I already have it on PlayStation 2 when it originally came out, but I do want the game, but I will wait for the physical media. And so, you know, I had all these people that were buying it straight off the streaming service or whatever, or download or whatever, you know, and I went and waited till they showed the physical media of it. And I bought that. And I am to this day still waiting for it to show up in the mail. When it does, I'll play it, and I'll play it online on YouTube so you guys can watch it. But, you know, be stern in your conviction and say, no, I refuse.
And now I want to tell you something. They have taken out all the War of the Lion stuff from Final Fantasy Tactics. This was a game that I was very much looking forward to. A remaster of a classic game, Final Fantasy Tactics, War of the Lions. They've taken all the War of the Lions stuff out. They have rewritten dialogue so that it can be spoken and is different and updated for a modern era. I have War of the Lions there, right there. I have the game. I do not have to buy your remaster. I do not have to get a new copy of it to make it easily playable on Steam. I can walk right over there, sit my fat ass down, and play it on my computer. Or I can play it on my PSP. Either one. Why? Because I own it on, I have it. I have it. I have it on my phone. I have the War of the Lions on my freaking phone that I can play it on my phone if I want to. I'm not buying another copy that you have gutted of content and been changed the dialogue to conform to the modern era.
Walter asks a great question here. If I remember correctly, if you really take care of your stuff, keep it out of the sun, keep it out of bad climate, really extreme heats, stuff like that. I've heard DVDs could last up to 50 to 100 years.
Yep.
But, you beat the hell out of them, put them in the sun, whatever, they could deplete in less than 20. So it's all how you treat your stuff.
And Blu-rays last longer.
And Blu-rays do last longer now. Yep.
Yeah.
That's why
so
me, Vic, and Tom, and all of us have been slowly upgrading all our DVDs to
Yep.
Blu-ray or 4K. Yeah. Slowly.
And there's stuff you can't because it's not out. One of the series I loved, Farscape, I'm lucky I have the Blu-rays. I have the DVDs and I have the Blu-rays. I cannot get the Blu-rays for a show like Jag. I just can't get it. They will never come out with that. It will only be on DVDs, which means however long those last is how long they last.
Yep.
And I haven't even gotten past like the first season because I only watch it every once in a while when I'm nostalgic and I want to think about my dad. I'll watch an episode and be like, man, that would have been so cool to get to see Pops on the aircraft carrier, do this, that, and the other. So I don't even know if I'll make it through the whole show without like being like, oh, well, this doesn't work for whatever reason. I have no idea.
Most of my horror movie collection is still on DVD, especially the ones that are like, kind of low budget horror movies from the 80s and stuff like that. They just haven't put them out. But I take care of them. Like I'll watch them once and they get put away. And, I've got movies that I've watched once and I haven't touched in 20 years. So I'm sure they're fine. I could pull it out and play it. And the reason I know that is because now that my son's grown up, he's becoming interested in some of my movies, in the horror and stuff like that. And he's grabbing them and playing them and they're playing just fine. So I know, 15, 20 years have gone by in some of these movies and they're still playing.
And like my horror, I've upgraded all of my horror collection to Blu-rays. I won't be going to 4K. If someone's like, oh my God, all the Jason movies came out on 4K, I've got the Blu-rays. I don't really care. They look good enough. It's B/slasher horror shit. I don't need 4K. Same thing with Puppet Master. Same thing with Nightmare on Elm Street. If you can get a Blu-ray collection for Nightmare on Elm Street, more power to you. I've got the DVDs. Blu-ray's good enough for me. I don't have to have 4K, but if there's something comes out that's badass on 4K, I'm going to want to get it.
The other thing is a lot of 4Ks will include the Blu-ray with the 4K movie in the disc, especially when they first came out. So that alone gives you basically 2 copies there that you can use.
Yep. And they usually have digital code.
Digital download
where
too.
If you're like, okay, well, I don't want to walk all the way in the other room and get it and walk all the way back and just pop it on digital. You still have your hard copy that they cannot screw with.
Yep.
And that's a big thing. What's up, Six? Guys, we're getting out of here. I want to thank Snowed Up. Thank you, brother, for coming up here. I didn't expect you to come up here, but thank you, bro. Seriously.
I put in the chat, I tried to jump in the back half. I just don't think he caught it. That's fine. But yeah, no, I wanted to help you out on this because, physical media is my forte. And I was like, we got to get somebody in there that knows this stuff. And like I said, guys, grab your favorite movies, and make sure you got a couple, one or at least two copies, I would say, of your most favorite movies, just to make sure.
And thank you very much, Six. Thank you very much. Oh, dude, yes. See, I didn't get that one. I've got 2 4Ks of The Crow. I've got the very first one they did, which was in a multi-pack. And then I've got one that's just The Crow, but it's sealed. So I don't have the collector's edition.
I need that one, Vic. Hint, hint.
I love The Crow. Top movie of all time. I never went and saw a movie in the theater as much as I saw The Crow. So I love it. But believe it or not, The Crow is the thing for you. not Jurassic Park.
No, Brandon Lee, man, that's it's a beautiful movie, and
Yeah.
it definitely got a special place in my heart as well.
All right, we're going to get out of here. I want to thank everybody. Thank you guys so very much for showing up to this. We'll be back next week at 7 o'clock. We will be here for YouTube Talk tomorrow at 3 o'clock. But before any of that happens, you've got a Taco Tuesday coming up, don't you?
I do. I got a Taco Tuesday coming up here in about 50 minutes or so, maybe an hour. And big talk tonight, guys. So come on over. Let's just say YouTube strikes again. My channel got another strike yesterday.
What?
Yes, but I'm streaming today, so we'll talk about it.
Oh. Okay. Now I'm getting it. If you're streaming today, then that means you were like,
Yep.
YouTube asshole. YouTube asshole.
Unbelievable. It's getting ridiculous. I'll just say that much. But come on by for Taco Tuesday, and I'll tell you all more about it here in about an hour.
Oh, yeah. Guys, make sure you are subscribed to Snowdub. Make sure you go over there tonight for his stream. Until then, guys, take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend honor and give you a little skull and a tuck and roll.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.